They don't need to cheer. No one's talking to you. She's talking to me, okay? I haven't started. Your team is chanting. I'm too old for these mind games, okay?
Belinda Bencic was up a set and serving for control of the match. She had momentum, she had experience, she had everything going her way. Then she decided to accuse Coco Gauff and her team of playing mind games, told them to shut up, said she was too old for this. What happened next? Bencic lost, badly, and the internet hasn't stopped talking about it.
Bencic and Gauff getting into a bit of an altercation during that changeover, and Bencic accusing Gauff's team of cheering when she's beginning to serve. Bit of niggle there.
Yeah, it was quite a heated exchange, the changeover.
Before we break this down, I need to know, do you think Bencic genuinely felt disrespected, or was she just frustrated and looking for someone to blame? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. All right, let's talk about what went down at the 2025 China Open, because this match between Coco Gauff and Belinda Bencic was supposed to be about tennis. It turned into a whole soap opera.
It was a little tempter for Gauff, and she met it.
And we know with you, Elliot, that you can't drop shot against Coco Gauff. She's always there, and most of the points she's winning whenever opponents are drop shotting against her. She's too quick.
Yeah.
Well spotted again from Gauff.
Especially on a hard court with the bounce as well.
Yeah.
The date was September 29th, 2025, fourth round of the China Open in Beijing. Coco Gauff, the defending champion and world number 3, was taking on Belinda Bencic, the 15th seed who's been making an inspiring comeback after maternity leave. On paper, this was going to be a great match. Two talented players going head-to-head, and for a while, it was. Bencic came out firing. She won 5 straight games to take the first set 6-4. Coco was struggling with her serve. She had already thrown in a bunch of double faults. Things were looking rough for the American. Then came the second set, and that's when everything went sideways.
Not sure what is complained about from Bencic. Probably from the reaction after the point, I think, from Gauff's box or the fans.
At 2-3 in the second set, Bencic was serving. She was still up a set. She was in a good position. All she had to do was hold serve and keep the pressure on. Instead, she hit a bad drop shot that Coco chased down and turned into a winner. The crowd cheered. Coco's team cheered. And Bencic lost her mind. She started gesturing at Coco's player box, telling them to be quiet, saying they were cheering before she served. She compared them to under-12 tennis players, and then she said the thing that made headlines everywhere. She told Coco's team to shut up. Now, here's the thing. The stadium was practically empty. There was barely anyone there. So every sound was amplified. Every cheer echoed. You could hear both teams supporting their players clearly. Coco's response? There's nobody in the stadium. It's been so respectful. And that's when Bencic escalated it further. She took her complaints to the chair umpire, started saying that Coco's team was being disruptive, that they were cheering while she was about to serve. She said, when the point is over, it's no problem, I don't care. But when I'm going to the line ready to serve, they don't need to cheer. Coco tried to say something, tried to defend her team, and Bencic snapped at her. No one's talking to you. She's talking to me, okay? I haven't started. Your team is chatting. I'm too old for these mind games, okay? Too old for mind games. That's what she said to a 21-year-old who was just trying to play tennis.
But it's interesting from Bencic to go on about it when she's on the move, she's on the run, she's set and 4-3 up, and she's having a bit of a momentum to just not kind of leave it. And
the clip went viral immediately. People couldn't believe what they were watching. A 28-year-old Olympic gold medalist telling a Grand Slam champion that she's too old for this, while losing. And you know what Coco said in response? According to some reports, she hit her with the perfect clapback. You're the one playing the mind games. Mic drop. But here's where the instant regret part comes in. Because immediately after this whole confrontation, Bencic managed to break Coco's serve. She went up 4-3. For a moment, it looked like her outburst had actually worked, like she'd gotten in Coco's head. And Coco admitted this in her press conference. She said, "Immediately after that, next game I was frustrated through 3 doubles. 3 double faults. In one game. That's how rattled she was. But then something shifted." Coco said she just told herself, "Okay, I don't want to lose anymore after this point." She buckled down. She focused. And she turned her frustration into fuel. Meanwhile, Bencic kept complaining. She kept going to the chair umpire. She kept letting the situation live in her head rent-free. And while she was busy being upset, Coco was busy winning points. The second set went to a tiebreaker. Coco won it 7-4. And at the end of that tiebreaker, Bencic was so frustrated that she smashed her racket on the ground. Just threw it down in pure rage. That was essentially the match right there. Bencic was done mentally. The third set wasn't even competitive. Coco ran through it 6-2. Final score, 4-6, 7-6, 4, 6-2. From being up a set with all the momentum in the world, Bencic managed to lose the match by picking a fight she didn't need to pick. That's the definition of instant regret. Rennie Stubbs, the former doubles world #1 and current tennis commentator, had the perfect analysis of what happened. On her podcast, she said, "If you're winning a match and you're in a winning position, which Bencic was at that point, upset, and in the second set, you just gotta go and play." She added, "You do not want to add fuel to somebody's fire, particularly someone like Coco, to get her in the mindset to fight and battle," which she did in that second set. That's exactly what happened. Bencic lit a fire under Coco. She gave her a reason to get angry. She gave her something to fight for beyond just winning a tennis match. Coco even admitted this herself. She said, "I think I can play sometimes a little bit better when I'm annoyed. So congratulations, Belinda. You annoyed her. And then she beat you." Now let's talk about the aftermath, because the press conference was almost as interesting as the match itself. When Coco sat down with reporters, she explained what happened from her perspective. She said she didn't actually hear everything Bencic said during the match. Her team had to tell her afterwards. "Yeah, I mean, I knew she said something to my team, but I didn't know exactly what," Coco explained. "They told me," she said, "shut up. I didn't hear it, so I can only go based off of what they said." She continued, "I guess she was upset about them cheering. For me, the stadium is silent, so you hear both teams." Then Coco made it clear that she wasn't going to let this slide entirely. She said, "I was telling her to be respectful. I've been nice with her team off court. We've been nice with each other. I just didn't like that comment towards my team." Notice how composed she was. She didn't escalate. She didn't trash talk Bencic. She just stated the facts. She said she didn't like the comment, but she also acknowledged that they moved on after that. We moved on after that. I haven't spoken to her since. She's entitled to how she felt, and I'm entitled to how I respond. That's maturity. That's handling a situation like a professional. She's 21 years old and she's handling drama better than most people twice her age. But here's the part that really showed Coco's character. Even after all of that, she still had respect for Bencic as a player. I obviously have a lot of respect for Belinda. She's a great player, coming back and playing great tennis as a mom. I obviously wish today didn't happen, but it is what it is. She wished it didn't happen. She's not out here celebrating the drama. She's not trying to create a rivalry or a beef for social media clicks. She just wants to play tennis and move on. That's the difference between someone who's focused on winning and someone who got distracted by their own frustration. Now let's look at how the tennis world and the fans reacted, because social media went absolutely crazy over this. One fan wrote, "If she didn't complain, she would have won this match. I can't with her. She really should have won here." Another said, "She went on to lose this game, BTW. If you're complaining to the chair umpire, you've already lost the mental battle." Someone else pointed out, "Yo, this is crazy. It's never ever this serious." There were some fans who defended Bencic's frustration. They said Coco's team was being too loud and that it's valid to be upset about noise during your service motion. Tennis is supposed to be quiet. The crowd is supposed to respect the server. That's fair, but here's the counter-argument. The stadium was empty. There was barely anyone there. Both teams were cheering for their players. If you can hear Coco's team, you can also hear your own team. It's not like there was some massive partisan crowd specifically trying to throw Bencic off. And more importantly, even if the cheering was annoying, the way Bencic handled it made everything worse. Telling your opponent's team to shut up is not the move. Accusing a 21-year-old of playing mind games when you're the one who's visibly rattled is not the move. You know what would have been the move? Winning the match. Taking all that frustration and channeling it into your tennis. That's what champions do. That's what Coco did after Bencic got in her head. Speaking of champions, this win had bigger implications for Coco beyond just advancing to the quarterfinals. With this victory, Coco officially secured her spot in the 2025 WTA Finals. That's the season-ending tournament featuring the best players in the world. It's a huge deal. And she clinched it by winning a match that could have easily gone the other way. She also extended her winning streak in Beijing to 9 consecutive matches. Her overall record at the China Open is now 13 wins and just 1 loss. She's basically unbeatable there. In the quarterfinals, she was set to face Eva Leis of Germany, who had just upset McCartney Kessler. And Coco's approach heading into that match? Focus on tennis, not drama. As for Bencic, the loss stings, but it's part of her ongoing comeback story. She gave birth to her daughter Bella in April 2024 and returned to the tour determined to prove she still belongs at the top. And honestly, taking a set off the world number 3 and putting up a fight like that shows she's still got it. But this match will be a learning experience. Sometimes the mental game is just as important as the physical game. And on this day, Bencic let her emotions get the better of her. The tennis community has been debating this incident non-stop. The bigger question is about coaching and support teams in general. How much should they be allowed to do during matches? The WTA has loosened coaching rules in recent years. Players can now receive instructions from their coaches during changeovers and between sets. It's part of an effort to make the sport more engaging and strategic. But there's still an unspoken code about decorum. You're not supposed to yell things during points. You're not supposed to distract the other player. The question is, where's the line? Was Coco's team crossing it? Based on everything we've seen and heard, probably not. They were cheering after points, which is normal. The stadium was quiet, which made everything louder than usual. Bencic was already frustrated from missing shots, and she directed that frustration at the easiest target. That's what happens when you're losing and looking for an excuse. You find one, even if it's not really there. The irony of this whole situation is that, by accusing Coco of mind games, Bencic was actually the one playing mind games. She was trying to get Coco's team penalized or warned. She was trying to create a distraction. She was trying to throw Coco off her game. And it worked. For about 1 game. Then it backfired spectacularly. Coco's response to the whole situation was telling. She said the quiet stadium made everything seem bigger than it actually was. She downplayed the drama. She refused to let it become a feud. With no real crowd noise, it probably made the situation seem bigger than it was, Coco said. That's perspective. That's someone who understands that tennis matches can get heated, emotions can run high, and sometimes people say things they might regret. She's not holding a grudge. She's not planning revenge. She's just moving forward. The players shook hands at the net after the match. They were cordial. Whatever happened during those 2 hours and 31 minutes, they left it on the court. But the internet doesn't forget. And Bencic's "I'm too old for these mind games" line is going to follow her around for a while. Every time she plays Coco in the future, people are going to bring it up. Every time she complains about anything, fans are going to reference this match. That's the price you pay for losing your cool on a big stage. The cameras are always rolling. The clips go viral, and your worst moments get replayed forever. For Coco, this incident is just another chapter in her evolution as a player and a public figure. She's been dealing with scrutiny since she was 15 years old. She's been criticized for everything from her serve to her temperament to her fashion choices. She's learned how to handle the spotlight better than most. And she's only 21. She's got years of career ahead of her. Grand slams to win, rivalries to navigate, controversies to survive. If she keeps handling them the way she handled this one, she's going to be just fine. As for Belinda Bencic, her comeback continues. She's a talented player who made a mistake in the heat of competition. It happens. The best thing she can do is learn from it and move on. But let's be real. The instant regret was obvious. She was winning. She picked a fight, she lost the mental battle, and then she lost the match. That's a lesson that's going to stick with her for a while. Tennis is a lonely sport. You're out there on your own. You have to manage your emotions, your energy, and your focus all by yourself. And when you let your opponent get in your head, or worse, when you get in your own head, the results speak for themselves. Coco Gauff won this match, but more importantly, she won the narrative. She stayed composed. She defended her team without being petty. She played better when she was annoyed, and she walked away with another win in a tournament she owns. Belinda Bencic learned a hard lesson. Don't poke the bear, especially when the bear is a 21-year-old Grand Slam champion who plays better when she's mad. That's the full breakdown of what happened between Coco Gauff and Belinda Bencic at the China Open. Bencic accused her of mind games, lost the match, and gave us one of the most talked about moments of the tennis season. Coco stays winning on and off the court. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate every single one of you.